so many roadblocks. Oh man, I mean, the roadblocks that I've encountered obviously are my height. I mean, I'm 5'3.5" on a good day. It's been hard, but it's about you. It's about your drive. I mean, you know, meeting some people, some scummy people, like that kind of like discourages you and discourages like, you feel like working with a photographer and he ends up kind of just being like a scuzz bucket and like you kind of just understand like, all right, we know what you're really trying to do. Like, it's like, oh man, like, you know, there's so many photographers that are photographers, you know? I mean, you'd probably do better with an iPhone and call it a day. So that, things like that. I mean, you always have your moments where you're just kind of like, oh, you know, is this worth it? And then it's just kind of like about finding it. You know, you really, like, to be in this industry, you have to have the passion and you have to like actually love what you do and you have to know that you have a purpose in it. Like, I believe that my purpose is so much bigger than what I am. So I feel like I'm able to express that through being a plus size model. And, you know, when there's a roadblock or something that, you know, I'm like, all right, you know, there's always a way around it. I mean, if I have to try to build a pair of wings to get over it, I'm gonna do it. It's gonna take some extra time, but it's about being worth it in the end. I think with any career, there's always a sacrifice. Definitely, you know, with this career, you know, you're constantly traveling and you never really have the time to settle down and spend time with people that you care about or, you know, kind of sustain relationships. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, relationships, they'll follow, like, you know, just worry about your career right now. But it'd be nice, you know, to be able to share your successes with people. So, you know, sacrificing that has been one of the biggest things, especially because I'm such like a hopeless romantic. And like, I believe in like true love and I have this like idea of like a modern fairy tale of some sort, you know, kind of, I'm a female, like, to like the fullest, like, but it's hard to find someone who understands this and who can accept it and who can be secure enough to really like actually be proud of you and also, you know, be there to, you know, when you kind of have your moments of, oh, man, am I really doing the right thing? Because I mean, you have that no matter what you do, no matter how much you love what you do, you're gonna have those moments. And you know, it's nice to have someone to pick you up. And, you know, I mean, of course you also sacrifice, you know, you'll have days where you have 18-hour days. Like, you sacrifice sleep and you sacrifice, you know, eating that fully cheesed pizza that you want so bad. Like, I mean, there are things that you give up, but you give up things for anything that you really love, I guess you could say. And it's not necessarily easier, but there's not as big of a competitive sort of market. Like, there's obviously more regular sized models, or just models as society calls it, you know, rather than plus size models. So since there's less of us, there's more work for us and we don't have to compete as much. You know, we're more friendly, you know, we're not so catty. You know, I meet another plus size model, like, oh, hey, you know, like, let's go get the, you know, she'll say, oh my God, my company would love you. Like, we should bring you on board. Like, you don't really hear that like anywhere else, like in different, you know, markets or whatever, because you don't want that company to like you more and then not hire, you know, your friend anymore. But that's not like that with the plus size market. I mean, of course there's competition, but it's healthy and it's nice. It kind of helps you improve like who you are and makes you want to be better. I use haters as my motivation, and I know that sounds so cliche, but you know, growing up, I was always told, you can't do this. Like, you're too short, you're not skinny, like you just have like a stereotypical look, like you're never gonna amount to anything in that industry. It's just not gonna happen because you're a dime a dozen. And it was like, okay, all right, I'm gonna take that with a grain of salt and I'm gonna prove you wrong. Like, I mean, that's been the best thing, you know, it's a great motivation. So I feel like people who, you know, get upset or something about negative comments, like, it's up to you on what you do with it. So you might as well use it positively, like reinforce yourself and like reinforce like who you know that you are. Like, they don't know who you are. Like, they're judging on what like you're putting out there. And you know, you always have like a professional image that you put out there. People, like I said, forget that you're a human being. Like, they forget that at the end of the day, like, you sleep and breathe just like everybody else. Like, it is what it is. So just kind of use it to find like a silver lining and find like a positive thing towards it, and don't take it as, you know, people just want to criticize you because they're miserable with themselves. There are so many misconceptions of plus size modeling. So a lot of people think that, you know, we're the lazy models. You know, we don't want to take care of ourselves. You know, we want to take the easy way out. People don't realize that it's not easy. You know, you still have to maintain a healthy sort of body image. You know, a lot of people think plus size models were overweight or we're obese, or, you know, we have health issues, we have like type 2 diabetes, or like, you know, something that's so ridiculous. You know, we sit there, you know, we'll eat a whole pack of Snickers. I mean, if it's a jar of Nutella, I'm guilty, but that's a totally other interview. But it's hard. Like, I go to the gym, you know, when I'm home and I have time, I go to the gym 6 days a week. I work out all the time. There's some women, you know, everyone's body is shaped differently. Like, it's not weird, like, you know, to be naturally curvy, you know, just like some women are naturally petite. So it's, you know, we don't just sit around and just wanna, you know, loathe and grease all day. Like, oh God, like that's not what we do. I mean, it's hard, and you know, we take what we do very seriously, and I feel like being a plus size model, we actually have, you know, we have a little bit more wiggle room, obviously. I mean, no pun intended. But it's not about, you know, we have to take care of ourselves, and we have to leave a positive sort of image. You know, we don't want, you know, girls to grow up thinking, okay, you know, I just want to order from Domino's every day, to the fact that they know, like, you know, exactly my regular or something like that. No, it's about everything's in moderation. That's what I tell, you know, everyone's like, oh, you know, like, how do you have the body that you have? And I'm like, everything's in moderation. Like, I'm not going to deprive myself of a chocolate bar because I have a shoot next week, because a chocolate bar isn't going to make you 10 sizes bigger that you're not going to fit into the clothes. Let's be real. Come on. I'm a realist here. And I think that a lot of plus size models are, and that's kind of what makes us unique, is we're realists. So I believe that the industry is definitely making a movement towards embracing what hasn't been the norm forever, since the industry kind of became what it is, or, you know, whatever you want to call it. I don't think that it's a trend, so to say. I feel like people are starting to realize, like, equality is really important, and it kind of goes into this industry. It sounds a little strange, and I'm like trying to explain it in a way that it's working in my brain, but like, so like, you know, a plus size model, you have a market, you know, so why not appeal to that market? And, you know, you have alternative models, you have all these different, you know, niches, and you have all these different groups, and you have all these different people that like certain things. So why are you going to cut yourself off at the knees, so to say, and not appeal to them? So it's definitely not a trend, but I don't think that it's something that's just going to like take off, and like it's like a whole big movement right now. I feel like it's more just being accepted. It's more being accepted for who you are and appealing to what everyone likes, because everyone likes different things. You know, everyone has, you know, their different things that they find interesting and they find appealing. So it's nice to, you know, see that embraced, I guess you could say. So the best part of being a plus size model is definitely, you know, we get to prove every single day, and, you know, through our work, that beauty is not a size. And I think that that's such a crucial sort of life lesson.